On this special Diecast edition of Supercars Talk, it's time to do something very different and open up some open wheel cars. Now, in my model collecting days, I have been very specific, trying to keep the collection just to V8 supercars and Australian touring cars. There's a few interlopers along the way. I do have some international Group A cars that I could get my hands on. There has been, there's a couple of Bathurst 24-hour Monaros. There's a 12-hour GTR that kind of, is still in that Australian racing scene. I'm trying to think. I do have a model of one of the cars that I previously owned, a VF SS Commodore, so I could have a bit of a mini-me situation going on, but I have tried to definitely stay away from things like Formula One cars because you end up going down a rabbit hole. And unfortunately, a bloke from New Zealand that went over and do some IndyCar racing, and as you can see here, I've got myself a couple of IndyCars. 3 so far, and I've got a couple more on pre-order. So now I want to get some willpower cars, and maybe a couple of others, but that could be something down the track. These have been very easy to get a hold of. There is some Australian stockists with them, and a couple of them I did get on special. So they're pretty good pricing, but we'll see on the unboxing whether they are worth the money. The 3 models that we are looking at today are just quickly. It is the 2020 St. Petersburg, the Scott McLaughlin debut in the IndyCar Series 1, the 2021 Indy 500, so Scott's first Indy 500, and the 2022 St. Petersburg car, where he had his first pole and first win in IndyCar. Just a quick rundown. I don't want to get too much into them because with the IndyCars, they have stayed the same over many years. They've now got the universal aero kit. There will be some differences between them because the oval spec on the Indy 500 car compared to the road course spec on the St. Petersburg cars. The Scott McLaughlin debut in 2020 was when he went over there just after Bathurst. He was supposed to make his debut earlier on in the year, but that whole sickness thing stopped him from going over until the end of the season. He made his debut in the final round of that season. He qualified 21st, didn't finish the race, got tangled up with Renus VK around the middle of the race at turn 1, which ended his debut. Was a very quiet entry into the series, but as we know, better things were to come. The 2021 Indy 500 car, the yellow submarine, the Pennzoil car made famous by, I think it was Rick Mears. So he qualified 17th. Doesn't sound spectacular, but that was the fastest of the Penske cars in qualifying. They had a shocker that year. They haven't been great in qualifying the last few years. If you've followed IndyCar, he was making a bit of progress. He kind of was running back a top 10. Then ended up getting a drive through for speeding in pit lane. Ended up 20th, which was enough to give him Rookie of the Year in that race. And then the 2022 St. Petersburg car, the Dex Imaging one. Just kicked off the year with bang, pole, and then ended up holding off Alex Palou to take a fairly solid win, really, especially when you've got the defending champion, and then I think it was Will Power in third that were kind of hunting him down there at the end. And he just drove like a champion and went on to win the race. That covers off a little bit about the cars. Let's get them out of the boxes and have a bit of a look at them. So this is a close-up of the car in the box. A bit hard to tell, I think, with the reflections, but there is the figurine that comes with it. Too bad he's not falling over, as some of you would have seen. pretty good boxing with these, with the, you know, the window and that in them. It's got the Team Penske logo on the end there, and then on Authentic Collectables, because they're bringing these in for them. But you can display them quite well in the box. I prefer to get all of my models out, so for a bit of spacing and so you can see them better. But let's get it out and have a look at it. These ones actually do come with an Authentic Collectables certificate of authenticity. I don't think the normal, because these are made by Greenlight, I don't think the normal ones come with anything like that, but these have been bought into Australia by Authentics. That's a bit another look. The packaging is a bit more like the old school cars, with the window and the packaging and a bit of plastic around it, but we're really interested in the car. They're strapped down underneath with some wire, which I will cut to get the car out and have a proper look at it. Now, with the magic of editing, I've got all three open, and there is the figurines, which are actually quite cool. Yeah, the quality of the models is pretty good. You can see some of the differences there, like on the front wings between the super speedway and the road course configurations there. You can see the big rear wing on the cars there, and the tiny little rear wing on the speedway cars. And then the figurine, that's quite cool, the one where he's sitting on the side of the car. This one was a little bit difficult to get him to stand upright. You see some of the detail on these. It's a bit hard to see on the camera. The typical Penske polished up, whatever you call them, the suspension arms and all that. They do look a little bit plasticky compared to what we are used to. And yeah, so some of the joins and that down on the side here, yeah, not the best, but you yeah, for the price you're kind of paying for these. The two I got on special, I got around about $100 each, and even the ones we pre-order full price, you're paying kind of $150 around that for them, Australian, and it's pretty cool with the figurines thrown in as well. But overall, I'm really happy with these three, and yeah, I'm not disappointed that I've got a couple more coming. So overall, I am very happy with the quality. They are a little bit not quite probably as good as what we're used to from, you know, Bianti, Authentics, Classic Collectables. When you consider the price, and obviously there is some economies of scale on these because they can essentially use the same molds and that for the full field. The figurines, a nice little touch on the on a couple of those models there. Overall, I'm quite happy with them. Would like to add some more IndyCars to the collection, but yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Would you be adding kind of any IndyCars to the collection? Do you collect F1 cars as well? Do you go down the rabbit hole and then get, like, you know, like Dan Ricciardo cars and Mark Webber cars and things like that? Or do you collect them for anyone else? And yeah, I will be trying to do an unboxing video once a month with probably the newest models. I have obviously got a bit of a backlog there, and yeah, there is a few that are due to be coming to me that I've had on pre-order. But yeah, keep an eye out for those videos, and I will have the Diecast news coming out in the first week of each month, so keep an eye out for that. Plus, of course, my normal Supercars news every week. But until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later.